Hey guys, Jason here with the Word to the Wise. I have just a little add-on, category C I'd like to add on to yesterday's video. If you haven't seen that, check that out. Just to kind of laying out kind of a lot of interesting ideas. And I'm not saying that anything quirky is going to happen. It seems like they got Trump and everything's going, down some sort of a road that they want to happen anyway. Just kind of like if you're writing a movie script, I think it would just be a crazy scenario. Looking at what Biden is doing, poking the bear for Putin, that kind of a scenario. I've seen a lot of movies in the past, like The Day the Earth Stood Still. I always like watching that one. Interesting kind of a movie. But one of my favorite movies back in the 90s was The Abyss. I could watch that movie over and over and over. And there's a background story on the surface level on Earth that's going on that you don't really get a lot of. They just kind of poke at it throughout the movie, that somehow somebody took out a Russian satellite that causes this huge tiff, and there's talks of nuclear war going to happen. While underwater, they're kind of entrapped with these Navy SEALs that are kind of doing their own nuclear mission. They're going to bomb this possible threat that's down in the abyss, in the trench. And Ed Harris goes down the trench, and he's doing kind of like a mission to kind of like, I think he's diffusing the nuke, and then he realizes it's a one-way trip, so then he just kind of like falls down to the bottom of the trench and lands in this little area. He gets carried in by these little, glowing stingray entities, aliens that were always here. And on the surface, they show these humongous tidal waves because they're able to control water. So then these walls of water are just like 1,000 feet tall, ready to just tidal wave into shore and just destroy as much as they can. And somehow they find a peace, and you see the water all recedes, but everybody in the cities is looking at this, and they're all scared because it's all getting ready to happen. But imagine that Russia threatens some sort of a thing, and then some sort of a flag scenario happens somewhere, causing this tiff to escalate further and further, and everybody starts bumping heads, Cuban missile style, Cuban Missile Crisis, during the Kennedy era, and people's fingers are all on the buttons. Things might even get launched, they could say. You're just watching a computer screen with a line saying, oh, well, this is something that's happening. Nobody could ever see or prove or say because it's over the ocean. You're not watching these things happen. They could literally launch some sort of a thing across the water. You'd never know what it is. And then, boo, things all just start shutting down left, right, center. And it's because they come forward and say, guess what? You guys were going to cause heck on our Earth also. We live here interdimensionally or underwater or in caves, mountains, whatever you have underground. And you're threatening all life, not just the tiff that you guys are happening with the humans. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting way to look at things too. Outside the box as always. I'll just leave it at that. Just a word to the wise. Like I said, check out the last video. It kind of builds into this scenario. Rise, R-I-S-E, capitalized. He's a Christian that is doing a lot of live streaming. He's showing a lot of press conferences, news reports, and there's a lot of things going on now that Biden has talked about that, but a lot of people were talking about it last week about what? Alien uncovering and the scenarios and the realities, blah, blah, blah. So just all tied together in some weird way, possibly. And I don't know if the world, or even that scenario is ready to happen. It's just something that is probably built for the future more. And I don't think we're there yet this year. I think it's something maybe a year or two down the road if they were ever going to pull something like that. But here again, I don't think they're aliens. I don't think they're from space. I don't think that they've always been here as aliens. I think you're looking biblically at the good and the bad, the evil, I should say. So just a word to the wise.